Let's talk about something we all know way too well, that deep, unshakable feeling of being tired. When you're just constantly drained, even when you think you're getting enough sleep? Well, today we're diving into a solution that isn't some new, high-tech supplement. Nope, it's an incredibly simple, ancient soup. Seriously, it's the big question, isn't it? You get your 8 hours, you have your coffee, but by 3 p.m., you're just dragging. Why is that? What is it about our modern lives that leaves us feeling so completely wiped out day after day? This quote, it just hits home, doesn't it? The scene is so familiar. Maybe you've lived it. Both people in the house have had a long day at work, but one is just completely knocked out on the couch, while the other is still going, handling all the stuff at home. And this isn't about being lazy, not at all. It's a sign that the body's energy tank is just empty. So what's really going on here? Where is all our energy going? Well, it turns out the biggest culprits might be hiding in plain sight. Our own lifestyles, and specifically our totally chaotic eating habits. There are two big patterns that are basically draining our batteries from the inside. Think of it like this. We're either on one side of a really bad coin or the other. On the one hand, you've got the feast or famine lifestyle, and on the other, you're just constantly running on empty. Sound familiar? Both are super common, especially if you have a demanding job. And guess what? They both lead straight to burnout. Let's look at feast or famine first. This is for all you service workers, office workers on a crazy deadline, anyone with an unpredictable schedule. You miss a meal, maybe two, and your body thinks it's starving. So what happens when you finally get to eat? You overdo it. This sends your system into total shock, and over time, it leads to some nasty stuff, like building up that dangerous visceral fat around your organs and can even cause fatty liver disease. But hey, the opposite is just as bad. If you're constantly skipping meals, you're just running on empty. Your blood sugar tanks, you get dizzy, you can't focus, and in the long run, we're talking stomach ulcers, constipation, and a whole host of other serious health problems. See? Both roads lead to exhaustion. Okay. So if our modern way of eating is the problem, what's the fix? This is where it gets really interesting. We're going to turn back the clock and look at a traditional remedy that people have been using for centuries. It's called Four Gods soup, or as it's known in Mandarin, Si Shen Tong. Now, before you think this is some fancy, expensive superfood trend, get this. The ingredients for a whole pot of this incredibly nourishing soup, it usually costs less than 100 new Taiwan dollars. That's just a few bucks. This isn't some exclusive thing. It's meant to be simple, affordable, and for everybody. So what's in this magic potion? Well, the name Four Gods comes from its four core herbal ingredients. Let's meet the team. First up is foxnut. In traditional medicine, this stuff is a hero for strengthening your spleen and kidneys, which are seen as the powerhouses for your energy and digestion. Number 2, we've got lotus seed. This one is all about calming the mind. It helps soothe that anxiety and mental chatter that can be just as draining as physical fatigue. Our third god is Chinese yam. Think of this as the ultimate support for your stomach. It helps your whole digestive system work better so your body can actually absorb all the good stuff from your food. And rounding out the 4 is poria. This is actually a type of medicinal mushroom, and its job is to help your body get rid of excess dampness and water retention, that feeling of being heavy, sluggish, and bogged down. Now, those are the classic 4, but in Taiwan, they often throw in a 5th ingredient to really power it up, Job's tears. This grain is fantastic for helping you flush out extra fluid, and it's also great for fighting inflammation. So, what happens when you put all these ingredients together in one bowl? Well, you get some pretty amazing synergy. They work together to give you some really remarkable health benefits. Let's break down what this soup's superpowers actually are. Okay, here's a really cool concept from traditional medicine. One of the soup's most famous abilities is something called softening. The idea is that it gently helps to break down hard buildups or masses inside the body. It's an ancient idea, but you can totally see how it connects to modern problems like fatty liver or even tissue fibrosis. Pretty neat, right? But that's not all. The soup is also famous for going after a trio of health issues that are, well, everywhere these days. They're often called the 3 highs. And what are they? You guessed it. High blood pressure, high blood sugar, and high blood lipids, or what we usually call high cholesterol. These are the classic conditions tied to stress and our hectic lifestyles, the exact things we were just talking about. The soup's ingredients work together to help bring your body back into a healthier balance. And look, this isn't just theory. The source material shares this incredible story from a doctor. He had an elderly patient who ate 4 God soup consistently for 2 years. She came back into his office one day and told him, plain and simple, "My 3 highs are gone."
Wow.
And the list of benefits keeps going. The Jobs tiers we mentioned can help lower high uric acid levels, which is the main cause of painful gout. The soup is also gentle and nourishing enough for kids, helping boost their appetite and even their ability to focus. It all comes back to strengthening that foundation, the spleen and kidneys, which are your body's engine for energy and digestion. So, are you feeling ready to give this a try? I hope so, because the best part is just how ridiculously easy it is to make it home. Seriously, you do not need to be a master chef to get all these amazing benefits. It's really just 3 simple steps. First, get your dried herbs. Second, throw in some protein, chicken or pork ribs are great, and add water. And third, just cook it. And here's a genius tip from the source. Put everything in a thermal pot or even just your rice cooker, set it on a timer to cook overnight, and you will wake up to a hot, delicious, super healthy meal. How amazing is that? Okay, before we wrap up, there's one last little wellness tip here. It's something super simple you can do anytime, anywhere to help fight that fatigue. For a really quick energy boost, try this. Gently pat along what's known as the kidney meridian. In acupuncture, this is an energy channel that runs right up the inside of your leg. So just lightly patting your inner calf and inner thigh can help wake up this pathway. It's said to get rid of fatigue fast and also help reduce some of that water retention. So what's the big takeaway here? We're always looking for these complicated, high-tech fixes for our modern problems. But maybe, just maybe, the answer is way simpler than we think. It might just be waiting for us in a humble bowl of soup that's been nourishing people for generations. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could this piece of ancient wisdom be exactly what our tired, stressed-out bodies have been crying out for all along?